Hello YouTube friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And quick update, vlog number I think 31 on fish room update. And just finished some work on the sump. It's not the neatest job in the world, but you know what? It's gonna work. First time I've ever done this. So I used aquarium sealant. You can see it here, it's aquarium sealant. And I created two baffles. So water will pour out and over the glass and then come in underneath this sheet right here and then get to the pump area. This is the pump area that'll return the water to the tank, right this area here. I've got three good sized sponges. You can see them right there. The water from the tank is going to travel into these 4-inch across socks. These are filtering socks. I've got a couple sets so I can swap them out once or twice a week. And they travel down 14 inches of material. And then the water will travel through these sponges that I picked up. The two outside ones are from, I think they're from BRS, Bulk Reef Supply. A very, very coarse outside sponge. And then a middle sponge from, the middle one is from Swiss Tropicals. And then I have a fine sponge on the end there. That middle one is gonna be really a home for beneficial bacteria. And it's about 4 inches wide. Then the water will come into this section here. I'll probably reduce that section, and then the water will cascade up over this first glass baffle, then down and then out from underneath, and then in here it'll hit the pump, which is going to be, I believe, a Shisei, and it's going to be pumping 2,500 gallons of per hour. I need to get it all dialed into this shadow system. This is the V2 shadow overflow box, and you can see it actually on the tank here. It's not permanently on. I'm going to be taking it off and doing a lot of work on it. This is the shadow here. It's got a lid, of course, and it's connected with these 1.5-inch bulkheads. But the you can see down here, those are three 1.5-inch outlets. This will be the primary, secondary, and then you have an emergency overflow. These will go down here and then go underneath, where I'm going to cut out a hole for the plumbing that will go into the sump. The return hosing is going to be soft hosing. I'm using this as soft hosing. This is just a something that's going to hook on. You see it right there. Just a blade. It's just going to attach, and just a soft hose really reduces vibration, and then it'll just come up from the pump. The primary outlet is going to have a few inches of pipe, and then there's going to be a gate valve. This is called a gate valve, and this is something you can close or open to regulate how much water is coming out of the tank. And then spliced into the soft tubing, the return hose that comes back to the tank, is going to be a one-way check valve. This is a one-way check valve. It only allows water to go up into the tank. Now these things can fail sometimes, sure, like anything, but this will be one safeguard that will prevent a back siphon, because if your pump stops, all of a sudden this will start to actually siphon water from the tank down to your sump and overflow your sump. So I do two things to help prevent that. I drill a hole in the return, that blade that hangs over the top of the aquarium. This one here, I drill a hole just below the water line, and that'll break the siphon should it start to back siphon. You drill a hole just below the water line, that stops the siphon. Between that and this check valve, this one-way flow check valve, you actually end up in very, very good shape, unable to really, almost impossible to get a back siphon. That's just one of the safeguards that you can take to prevent flooding from a sump. I'm not that concerned about the flooding. Less concerned now that I have a concrete floor than before when I had a wood floor. Also, for those of you that are interested, after you've attached identical sizes of pipes to each of these three, then you attach what's called a union. This is a union. A union, you just unscrew this collar, and then you can detach. So I'll be able to detach this box. You can detach it and service it very easily because you just simply unscrew the unions. So I'm going to have a small piece of PVC coming out of each one, and then a union under each one, so that allows me to just remove the box whenever I want. I'll probably end up putting maybe some additional unions, I don't know. I was thinking of 3, but some of the bulk reef, some of the reef people say, whatever you're thinking, double the number of unions. I get it. It makes it really easy. Before I do the final attachment of the Synergy overflow box, before I really attach it permanently and put it into use, I've got to put a Velomax. I'm going to put Velomax, a black vinyl background, on the back of this tank. So all of this is going to be covered in a black Velomax background. Velomax is what I have currently on all my other tanks. What you see at the back of the 90-gallon South American, Central American, Madagascar tank, and what you see here, this is Velomax, and what's behind this, all my tanks, this is Velomax, if you can make it out with all the glare. As I've mentioned in a couple of videos, this is just a sample. These are each 40-pound bags of crushed coral from Chewy's, and then I have another about 120 pounds of Zac Black, Eco Complete Zac Black. This is, it comes with some bio in it, and it's cichlid specific, Eco Complete. And I even have a little bit of, from Petco, a little bit of that Imaginarium Black. I'm gonna blend all of them together. This is the Imaginarium Black here. I'm gonna blend all of them together in the hope of getting a nice gray substrate like I have, a little bit darker than what I have currently in the 90-gallon. You can see the 90-gallon here. It's a very forgiving substrate. By forgiving, what I mean is it doesn't show a lot of detritus. So I don't have to be cleaning it like every 5 minutes. This is a white substrate. Compare that to the gray substrate. I have to vacuum this almost every other day just to keep it. I mean, look at all that waste, all that detritus. Shows everything. So it really kind of keeps you on your toes as a fish keeper, which I guess is a good thing. Now you compare that to a substrate like this, you can go for quite a while without vacuuming if you don't want to. I'll still vacuum just because I like to keep things nice and clean, but this substrate shows hardly anything. Very, very forgiving. There's Skittles hiding in the corner. Doesn't like it when I film. The aquarium is going to be lit by these very thin profile JC and P lights. You can see them here. I actually have 4 of them. 36, up to 36 inches each. Using this, I can program them for whatever schedule I want to have them on. Right next to the lights, I have a FX6 that I've had in storage for quite a while. I'm definitely going to be putting a little bit of silicone, food grade silicone, on the O-rings, or maybe even swapping out the O-rings. It's been sitting around for a while, this FX6, since October of last year. So, you know, a little over 7 months, 8 months. And that FX6 is going to be attached to the aquarium right here and just hanging over the edge. And then again, I have to cut some holes in the back using some equipment that my son-in-law let me borrow. I'll be cutting some openings in the back here, and then the FX6 will be inside the cabinet. I'll probably put a sponge filter over the intake. And you can see the way they set up the aquarium. They put the frame on it, and of course it has these glass Euro braces, these Euro brace setups. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. But then they leave the back edge. They leave the back edge plain. So I like that because you can then hang things on it without any concern. There are some glass plates that will seal this up, but they do give you some room in the back so you can put equipment such as cables, hoses, things like that. So that's the update. That's the update on the fish room where I'm at. I hope to have some water in this thing by the end of next week. And I've got a lot of work to do. So if I disappear for a few days, don't be upset with me. All right, thank you so much. Be sure to hit that bell, that sub if you haven't already, so you can stay on top of what's going on. And that's it for now. And I hope to see you all on Saturday for the Cichlids and Coffee live stream. That's every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central. Great group of people. Also, stop by the Facebook group. And if you want to get some behind the scenes, check things out at ben.o.cichlid on Instagram. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.